Can't wait to guess the bounty on Roos again.
Yeah, it'll be Leenock, and it's definitely gonna be all about grabbing up those wolves, grabbing up those deer early on to just make sure to at least get that 250 mark is what everyone likes to hit.
Yeah, let's just hope on Lippany we won't have any of these corner balls. But here we go. Elite Classic, our next set of the day. We got Liquid DeMu against Leenock. DeMu in the orange with the Delhi Sultanate. Leenock in the blue with the Rus. Typical opening here so far from the Muslim, opening up with his mill. And yeah, it's a perfect build that we tend to see from Delhi. You go for the stragglers and you then build the mill with the villagers carrying the wood, meaning that they will be dropping off that wood at the finished mill. Now we see Leenock making his hunting cabin. Is going to be making another scout from his hunting cabin. He's actually made a scout from his TC, so that's going to give him a little bit of bonus speed for his scouts early on. So far with Roos, we've only seen players making their first scout from the hunting cabin. Personally, I still think from the TC is worthwhile, at least for this season. In the next season, the hunting cabin is going to be created much, much quicker. It's going to be 25 seconds instead of 40 seconds. I think that's probably going to be the patch where we'll see it a lot more often, that you're going to be making your first scout from the hunting cabin. Right now, I think that the 10 seconds or the 15 seconds that you'll save by making it out the TC is still just, it's really worth it.
Yeah, it's that's one of these. This is a game where the little differences really do matter in the long run, and some people look at it as the 10 to 15 seconds matters in the bounty, but you're losing a vill, and other people are saying but the bounty is more important to kind of help the snowball, and pick your poison, pick the way you want to end up looking at it. We're already seeing Wheelbarrow queued up. Leenock feeling confident that he's going to get enough bounty to get the gold for the age up. Having secured a couple wolves and a couple deer packs for himself.
Yeah. So more bounty going to be gathered right now by Leenock. Oh, DeMu actually running behind the base from Leenock right now. That could be awkward. Like many times we see Roost players are just so focused on on getting the deer and whatnot that sometimes they forgot about the sheep. And when they forget about the sheep, we've had it happen before. I like to call when that happens the core, like you do the core, and suddenly your TC is just completely idle, no sheep anywhere to be found, and suddenly you're struggling. You're out in the water. You're like, oh, okay, I don't know what to do anymore. And yeah, that when that happens, it starts to get ugly.
Yep, so Leenock able to pick up that extra deer pack on the side of DeMu, able to grab another wolf in the middle, and I believe grabbing up another one, so already having some nice and solid bounty for himself here, and does sound like he is circling around getting in some extra sheep, and so won't be, in any sort of, bad positioning in the long run as far as the food income goes.
Yeah, that's a good amount of bounty right now that Leenock is collecting just from all of these wolves right now, and yeah, it's looking good so far. I'm gonna guess that Leenock's probably gonna get to like close to 300-ish bounty here. Actually, maybe even a little bit more. I think
he's
guessing,
already there.
Yeah, I think he's already past 300 right now.
Yeah, I was gonna guess 305 if we have to put a number on it.
All right, 305. I'm gonna go for 320.
All right. The bounty guess again. Oh, 310. All right. We're getting better at it. We're getting better. We're both like right on either side. So
really close, yeah. Right in between. Tower of Victory here for DeMu.
And Leenock already on that stone next to the Kremlin with plenty of vills there. Will be able to bolster up his wood income, so looking to get that fast secondary TC.
Yeah, that second TC is going to be going up relatively fast here, I could imagine. Might, however, mean, though, that DeMu is going to be uncontested when it comes to just contesting some of these sacred sites early on.
Yeah, you really need this TC timing to come down fast. Scouts chasing the scouts on the other side. Kremlin Ooh, Leenock trying to bait DeMu in, but he's been here before. They're scouts. They got plenty of vision. They spot that out, and they get the information they need that Leenock is going secondary TC.
There we go. Okay, now DeMu also reaching the Feudal Age. Sanctity immediately getting queued. He does have a prelate next to his mosque right now, not being garrisoned.
Yep, that's a little bit of an upset there. Usually you grab that. There it is. He's inside now. You as you're going up to Feudal, you'll go ahead and stop your piety and go ahead and queue up one of those scholars to have that extra little bit of speed on your technologies to be able to get the quicker sanctity.
Yeah, exactly. And also going for a blacksmith now before any production buildings. We do have some of these pesky little militia just causing a little bit of idle time here and there.
And delaying this blacksmith from getting up. DeMu's sent 3 different villagers over to that blacksmith to try to get it finished, and finally finishes it on up, clears up those 2 pesky militia, and ooh, almost gets his scout in a location to delay that TC and deny it a little bit. But ooh, look at the board pull gonna happen. So, Leenock might just surround this boar and go for the kill?
Yeah, just turn around, kill it. This could actually be good for him here. Now, especially like, now it's on a nice spot here for his TC. I like that spot.
One villager though.
It's close to it's close to
Kremlin?
the Kremlin.
Kremlin? Oh!
Oh, so close yet so far away. I think it probably would have been worth to just garrison some more villagers in there just to snipe one of those scouts, but oh, that was close. That was close. Really, really close there for him. Has to pull another villager back, but I mean, it's not the worst. Now DeMu was also adding in some military. He's making horsemen, he's making archers. Solid composition here for him. However, he's gonna need spearmen at some time as well. Just because with Ruse you get the knights, and both horsemen and archers both get counted out by those knights.
Lovely job by our observer there. He just showed us the base in the vision of Leenock there, and he literally, you can see every single thing into Muslim's base due to the positioning points of the 3 scouts by Leenock. It's just absolutely beautiful, and now Leenock can do whatever he wants with that information.
Yeah, he'll know everything about DeMu's base right now. That's why I tend to refer to these scouts, like in Age of Empires 4, they just have so much line of sight. It's like legal map hacking almost. You just have to use it. And now, Scholars moving out. Sanctity is almost about to complete. No military right now for Leenock.
One of those villagers got low, but jump inside that TC that was rather close and able to get another scout pick in return.
Yeah, that means that DeMu is now going to be blind, at least for the foreseeable future, until he gets another scout out. But the sacred sites, both of them are going to be taken now. He's immediately starting to wall them in. Now we see Leenock queuing up some horsemen. No knights so far in the queue for him. He's also rallying his Levi militia. But there's already archers out for DeMu. I'm not sure if he's going to get a whole ton of value. Scout potentially going down. Does go down.
Yeah, horsemen move to that front where the sacred site's attempting to be walled up. Scout still idling out that scholar from finishing the sacred site. Archer does get picked off. Next archer gets picked off. And a really great job by Leenock here with this micro. Levi militia do get called and going to focus down that scholar. If he gets the scholar pick, that is going to be massive.
Yeah, it was really great timing with the bulk of the horsemen from DeMu being in the base from Leenock, not being there in time to protect that middle sacred site, which means that now DeMu, instead of being on 2 sacred sites, he's only going to be on 1, which is still really nice for him in terms of the income. But Leenock is scaling his economy with the second TC now behind this.
Oh, and he finds the berry villagers that have moved on forward, so some of that pocket eco that Delhi loves to go to. Next scholar being focused down by some horsemen as well. Leenock does need to be careful about losing a lot of his military and making this too much of a snowball to deal with on the other side.
Yeah, Leenock is lucky right now because DeMu, he doesn't have too many scholars or any scholars at all, increasing the speed of his research right now. That means that, as we can see, his blacksmith upgrades are only just now starting to come in.
Yeah, very, very slow and good circle back by Leenock again. Shivs get pulled out, try to deter those horsemen from doing any more raiding. I think they're just going to sacrifice their lives for a Vil pick over here and then roll on out.
Yeah, Leenock is now also starting to add some knights in, and some knights, some archers, and that's the typical ruse composition that we'll be seeing here. DeMu also adding in some spearmen, could be counted out by the archers. The issue is the mass right now. DeMu already being on 20 military, Leenock right now only on 7. And 2 of those are scouts.
Yeah, I will say Leenock has done a great job denying and delaying these sacred sites. Just now has the middle sacred site recapped, and DeMu only on 1 sacred site. I'd say that's manageable when you're playing against it, especially when you've had your TC going for a while. You're up 11 Vils, and Knights Out should start to try to do some raiding and push and pull this slow and immobile force that DeMu has as far as the archers and spears go.
Yeah, the triple composition here, it's building to some really scary numbers, and the sacred side, at least the first one in the middle, is completely walled. Now Leenock managed to recap the one to the east, and now DeMu's army is heading towards the one in the west, or maybe it's just in defense to those knights roaming around there.
Looks like DeMu's starting to push on forward and head towards maybe that secondary TC. Leenock just waiting for that positioning point where he knows that DeMu's moved too far forward. Horseman diving in. A villager immediately gets taken down. Another villager tries to jump inside. He's screaming, "Let me in," but not enough room, and the horsemen just circle. Archers starting to get focused by the TC, and now the archers of Leenock reveal themselves, take down a few of the spears, which are in very low numbers right now.
Yeah, this was a really good timing here for Leenock, but he panicked a little bit. He did call the gremlins, so now he has 10 gremlins out on the field. He's gonna have to do something with them. He'll probably just send them towards either the sacred side or maybe into the base of the Muslim. Just trying to disrupt DeMu's food economy right now a little bit with them, get some value out of them, or maybe he's gonna go for an engagement. It's still 32 military total to 45. I don't think this is a fight that he'll necessarily win. Then again, he does have knights.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, he's fine with just trading the militia at least for a decent fight, and it looks like DeMu is actually pulling back here, so the trade's going pretty well in Leenock's favor, at least at the start out. At the earlier parts of the fight, DeMu has the rest of his force arrive. Spears have not yet been able to get on type of the Night Mass, and Night Mass able to fall back for Leenock, who, again, somewhat okay with the fight, but could have been in a little better situation on it.
These micro-heavy engagements are always so rough when you're in the stealth forest. It becomes really, really tough to to focus these individual units, just because it's all hitboxes everywhere, like the surrounding lines on the units. It makes it really tough to focus out individual units, and now DeMu is looking to be in a really, really commanding spot right now, almost double the military. Now there were a lot of the spearmen that got focused out by the archers. If there is a fight that he could take, it's going to be under his TC. I don't think he's going to get any better engagements out of this fight.
Yeah, he was trying to pull him into the Kremlin as well, but just the TC close enough. Knights diving back in. Spear numbers going to be lower, but Knights have gotten a little bit lower themselves. They're still closing in on the archers. Villagers jump out, starting to heal up the TC, start to get focused down though. If there are no Vils inside the TC, you don't really have that extra helpful defender's advantage though.
Yeah, but at the same time, Spearmen finally going down. There are still 3 knights on the field. And with that, it looks like Leenock might be able to hold this. Now, he is going to take significant damage on that TC, but even if it goes down, he does have a significant villager lead right now.
Yeah, a massive Vil lead. Needs to be able to jump out of that. He actually turns back towards the Rams. Villagers jump out, start to heal it on up. Knights are trying to focus down the Ram and just secure up this secondary TC to keep pumping out. 15 villager lead is still active, and military numbers have been thinned out significantly.
And now the villager lead right now is actually not that great when it comes to overall economy, because we can't forget that DeMu, he has 2 sacred sites right now. 2 sacred sites, that's 300 gold per minute. which equals roughly 8 villagers. So it's not a 15 villager lead. It's more like a 7 villager lead right now, and it also gets diminished a lot by the increased amount of resources that the Delhi get from the berries.
Yeah, and the free eco techs. You can see he's got the food and the mining techs in, whereas Leenock just now queuing up his food tech. Able to pick up that scholar on the western sacred site. Now knights should try to circle around. This is getting to the point in the game where both players are starting to spread out further and further to these secondary food resources. They don't want to transition to farms because it's so costly. It just loses them so much tempo. But at the same time, that means they're going to be risky on the deer, which is where we're seeing these knights try to circle to now.
Yeah, Leenock is trying to get some raids in, but DeMu is hot on his heels. One of these knights is really low, so probably not too long for this world when the horsemen are trying to catch up to him. And the entire army from DeMu right now is just chasing behind these 3 knights here right now. Okay, never mind. Now they're walking into another direction, just a couple following them here. Single archer decapping the sacred site. That's going to be great value here. Leenock has a lot of gold in the bank, so does DeMu. Wondering if DeMu is maybe looking for a Castle Age timing here soon. He does have a huge amount of food income right now, so definitely could be clicking up soon. Same for Leenock right now.
Yeah, both players kind of can, but DeMu still just has that military force that's quite scary. Leenock, it's not something to joke around about. And look at the timing for those horsemen. Arrive at that sacred site at the very last tick and able to secure it up and deny the archer from fully delaying that gold and making DeMu reset another scholar over there.
Yeah, now Sacred Site victory is approaching. DeMu is going further out on the map with the berries. Has to be careful of that. Maybe needs to also drop an outpost next to those berries. And Sacred Site once again being under contestation from Leenock, but Spearman now also there. Only one though, so should be able to take the fight in theory.
If he wants to, he can. He might just continue to circle. Rams being dropped. DeMu wants to go in for this again. He's close to Castle Age. He's right at Castle Age, knocking on its doorstep, but also he's going to be knocking on Leenock's doorstep with this all in. Question is, will he wait until Castle Age comes through, or oh my. Oh my.
None of these players have a scout with them.
This is hilarious. This is one of the funniest interactions I've seen, but now starting to attack the forest at the same time. DeMu starts to move up. He spots out. Both armies spot each other out. Villagers need to be pulled back, and instead they're pulled forward. They have nowhere to go. Fighting, just gonna be A-moving in this stealth forest. You can only attack with what you see in front of you.
Oh, the horsemen are on the archers right now. This is looking really, really bad for Leenock. He's going to have to really micro his heart out. And, I mean, micro his heart out, that's usually what Leenock is known for. But this is going to be a really, really tough one. There's also Rams right now at the same time attacking his town center. And DeMu is now hitting the Castle Age. And Leenock, he just spent all of his resources for more military. He is very far away from Castle Age.
Yeah, it just threw away a lot of villagers trying to build that wooden fortress. Archers just trading off in the middle. You can't forget those are Tower of Victory archers on the other side. So even numbers are not good enough if you're Leenock. The Knights focusing in on the Ram to try to keep this TC alive yet again. He still is keeping it alive, but nowhere close to Castle Age. And the quality on DeMu's side is about to skyrocket. All these free techs are being queued up as well.
Yeah, 2 sacred sites means a lot of passive gold income for him, and 3 sacred sites, that's 450 gold per minute. And he's probably also thinking about getting some of these relics right now as well, as he does have 7 scholars on his side. He's also grabbing the upgrades from his compound of defender. He might be thinking about getting stone soon. Yep, there are villagers going towards the stone mine right now. Actually, never mind, they're just passing, but that could be something that he might go for in the future. And now we got these Castle Age Knights against Feudal Age Knights, Feudal Age Archers. Leenock, he still can't really think about Castle Age right now. He still needs to make units, else he will get overrun in his transition to Castle Age.
Yeah, now these Lancers just going to chase down the archers on the other side. There's a few men-at-arms now mixed into that mass as well for DeMu, so going to be even harder for these archers. You have to micro them, or else if they start attacking the front target, it's going to be these absolutely armored tanks.
Yeah, okay, now he's going back to his Kremlin. That could definitely help him out. The Kremlin doing +2 damage on its units that are inside does mean that they do deal a lot of damage even to armored units like the Knight. And I mean, especially for the Muslim, he's playing as the Delhi with DeMu's blacksmith upgrades being capped like when they come in just based on how many scholars he has.
Yeah, Archer's still trying to be masked up. Knight's trying to be masked up. Militia called yet again. And will this be able to be enough to push DeMu back, or will DeMu finally find the military mass he needs to break open Leenock's base?
It's like he's still able to hold, and behind this there's still a really, really big eco lead when it comes to numbers, but now there's the first keep. That's the first keep in the middle, and that's gonna make it really, really difficult for Leenock. Now the high trade house is gonna go up. It's gonna go up between 2 large wood lines, so that's gonna give Leenock a lot of gold income from that.
And he still has a huge Vil mass. He's not in the worst positioning considering he has been able to keep his eco somewhat safe, somewhat alive, and not just absolutely getting shredded like you'll see when sometimes you'll have these later Castle Ages comparative to your opponent.
He's also made a farm transition behind this. Leenock is an absolute fighter when it comes to these kind of games.
This is wild, but now is when the first keep is up. Compound of the Defender's not through, but once it is, he'll be able to start pumping Vils out of that keep, so Vil count will start to change quite a bit, and DeMu actually moving on over to the gold. Usually you'll just see continual keeps being masked as he looks like he's moving to stone elsewhere.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit more gold right now. He has 3 relics right now, getting his 4th one with the 2 sacred sites, but it's just not quite enough. Yeah, okay, now he's only on 1 sacred site anymore. Can we quickly check out how much gold Leenock is getting from that high trade house? I'm guessing around 240. Maybe 280.
Another keep being oh my, 114.
Oh, he built it next to a hunting cabin.
Oh, yeah. Secondary TC being focused in on yet again. More keeps being dropped by DeMu, but DeMu has to fall back. Men-at-Arms, he, I guess, doesn't want to sacrifice them out, even though there aren't a ton of crossbows on the other side yet. Not the correct units to deal with this mass as of now.
This is looking a little bit rough right now. There's a lot of armored units, and Leenock's upgrades for his archers aren't quite through yet. Now he's got the Veterans 3, still missing out the +2 damage. At the same time, DeMu is missing out on the +2 armor, but this is still looking a little bit rough. Okay, Leenock is making crossbows right now, but he needs them now. He needs them, like, right now. There's a couple of knights in the back of the base there, not doing anything for now. He is gonna try and push this fight under the Kremlin, which is nice.
Called the militia again, at least going to be a little bit of that front line. Secondary TC staying alive. Knights are in the backside of DeMu's side. My question is this going to be another hold here for Leenock and actually able to break out of this with the Vilmass he's acquired?
Maybe. But now the village fortress is almost completed now, so soon DeMu will be able to pump out a lot of villagers again. But still, the armored unit mass here is just really, really big. Okay, never mind. It's getting close. Okay. Yeah, Leenock is holding. Leenock is definitely holding this one. He still has a really, really good food income. Not a single farm right now for DeMu. He's still on berries mostly. Yeah, he's gonna have to make a farm transition. The good thing about Delhi with their farm transition is you can just make the farms around your keeps, and then you'll have a really, really safe food ecology.
44 Vils on berry. Those berries are about to be gone in a blink of an eye, and he's going to be out of food. He needs that transition, and this is a transition Leenock's already had. So this military count is about to skyrocket for Leenock, and if he finds the right positionings, this is his timing to take this game.
Yeah, this is not over for DeMu though. Like, he has the village fortress right now. If he just makes keeps on the sacred sites, he's gonna be in an absolutely still fine position. I say that. As soon as I say that, Leenock drops down 2 siege workshops immediately. Okay, yeah, that's a way for Leenock to get rid of these keeps.
And the farm transitions attempting to happen now. Farms going around the keep next to the sacred site, and he's also moving out over to the berries, I believe, in the north side. Gonna try to recap that sacred site, but timer has been reset. And Leenock, I think he is feeling pretty good as he is just clicking up all these techs right now, just continuing to mass up some units, but preparing for this long game.
Yeah, looks like DeMu finally also gets control over these 2 berry spots again. That's going to give him a lot of food again. Means that he won't have to completely rely on these little farms that he just put up. Also trying to do some pressure now on the side of Leenock's base. DeMu somehow managed to once again mass up more units than Leenock has out on the field.
Yeah, I feel like Leenock used all his resources onto technologies after this kind of timing, and DeMu has just continued to pump units because all his techs are free. It's all he has to spend his resources on is military. So that's really where he has been doing exactly that, starting to push through, burns down this wall, but Leenock is ready and waiting.
Yeah, Boya's Fortitude is almost about to complete. There we go. There it is. And with that, these cavalry units are going to have a lot of bonus HP. It means that it's going to take 2 extra attacks from the spearmen to finish them off compared to usual. Lots of archers going to go down, but there are still crossbowmen here doing a good job. But the infantry, let's not forget, there's still the Tower of Victory in play here. And the archers from DeMu have been focusing down all of these crossbows so far. But still, military numbers now with the cavalry in play as well. Looks like DeMu isn't going to be able to push this in too easily.
Yeah, there were just no spears on DeMu's side. I think he had like 3 or 4 to start out that fight. Leenock able to take those out, able to take out the rest of this mass, and military numbers have been staying surprisingly low, but Leenock has double trebuchets already starting to siege down that middle keep, and that thing's going to be going down fast.
Yeah, he already has a keep on all the other sacred sites. He's out now also stonewalling, so DeMu stonewall's also coming in right now. Just gonna try and get this victory condition, and behind that, he's also just booming it up. Like, he managed to close the eco lead by quite a significant margin right now, I feel.
Yeah, keep gonna constantly be rebuilt, but that is a huge stone drain. Not that it really matters with how much stone he has in the bank, but Leenock is focusing other sides as well with those forward farms, proving again to not be the greatest locations to be dropped forward around your most forward keep and the sacred site. Easily going to be a spot that Leenock should focus. He's starting to ram that one down, has military, has wooden fortresses, is even pulling some vills with their shivs to help out on the fight. Anyone and everyone, come join.
I'm not sure where DeMu is researching boiling oil from, but I think it's not in the influence of his boss because it's been there for quite a while, and DeMu does have like 11 scholars. Either they're all inside of military production buildings, or his building where he's getting boiling oil from isn't in the influence right now. This is, it's been a while since that's been in queue.
Yeah, and stone for DeMu has constantly been falling. He is building another keep, but won't have stone for too much longer, it seems like, over there. And Leenock starting to send more and more cavalry around raiding. You talked about at the very, very beginning of the game. Leenock lives for these situations where he's just all over the map. They call him Leenock-topus for a reason, and he is doing exactly that right now.
Yeah, the Leenock-topus just being everywhere on the map right now. DeMu trying to keep his keeps repaired, but now that the first keep went down, that means that now the trebuchets can focus on the one on the left side, and it looks like Sacred Site victory is not gonna be possible here for DeMu, as this seems to just spiral out of control for him right now. He's now adding in tower elephants.
Yeah, I think this is one of those situations where, like, yes, he dropped keeps, but after Leenock had a couple trebuchets, the keeps start falling. The keeps start falling faster and faster if trebuchets keep climbing. Oh my, he's still sending vills into their death, and he invested so much into these keeps and didn't really get a payoff for him.
This is such a rough position now for Delhi. I feel like DeMu should have probably added in like 1 to 2 war elephants instead of these tower elephants. They do so much better against all the units that Leenock has out on the field. And now there's a forward keep coming in from Leenock. And oh, that's rough.
That keeps gonna be
siege
going.
workshops.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
everything's going to be going down. All those farms showing to be worthless. There's still a big military mass. Springle trying to move forward, but Leenock does have the Springle mass, and there it is. The Muslim realizes Delhi, they're not in it for the long game. He's not in it for this long game on this one. Just move on to game number 2.
Yeah, to be fair, Leenock with the Rus is just an absolute beast. I think they're probably his main civilization. I think he's also really solid with Mongols and China, but it has to definitely be Rus when it comes to his absolute favorite civilization in the game at the moment. He's just so absolutely stellar with them, and it really worked here. What he did, what he went for, being able to hold onto that second TC and just massing more and more units, and finally being able to take good trades, crazy holds from Leenock, and then just the push out onto the sacred sites worked amazingly well for him here.
Yeah, crazy holds indeed. I think it was like 4 different times that DeMu went for that secondary TC, just never able to get it, never really able to get enough damage that hurt Leenock, and great hold and long term pulling this game out.
Yeah. I mean, we see the military graphs. It tended to be like really even at some point. Leenock was just able to brilliantly hold, even with less military. And then when it got to the point where the Muslim was in the Castle Age and Leenock was still stuck in Feudal Age, the hold was just really.
I think I might have seen Abba one time. I definitely have not seen Delhi a single since on this map, and I would be shocked to see that changing. But forget those civs now. We are jumping on in, and we are starting with DeMu's base over here in the southern side as teal, cyan, whatever you want to call it, and Leenock on the opposite side as the HRE.
Yeah, I'll have you know it is actually teal. It is not cyan. It even says so in the game. So when you hover over the color, it does say teal. And yeah, so far, both players just doing normal mountain clearing stuff, luring in their deer. We've got a pretty decent spawn here for Leenock, I feel like, with the HRE.
Yeah, this is one of those that, you know, you're never really going to like, it always feels good as the HRE with this. When you push in your deer, you're going to have your nice gold vein safe and secure, close to your TC. And, I mean, very, very beautiful situation that he finds himself in until, boom, barbecue coming.
Exactly. So, gotta be hoping here for Leenock that not going to be a cheeky Barbican in the face of Leenock. Would be quite risky. I think it's probably more going to be how I like to call it, a Barbican. So a Barbican in the middle on the board, trying to grab those resources there. And I mean, he still has to make something happen, though. Maybe something that I've seen from DeMu in the past is going for a non-dynasty fast Castle Age. That also happened before. So that could be an option here for him. It's gonna make it tough though with the Imperial officials, since you do always have an incentive to be making those. And there we go. That's the Archon spot that I was thinking about. So getting all the deer, also getting the wood in there, getting the gold. So overall, just a really good spot. What I'm thinking of right now though, he is gonna go for wood early on, which makes me think that potentially Leenock could be thinking about a second TC, but then he wouldn't have that many villagers on food remaining.
I think it's
Not sure what exactly his plans is.
I think he wants a reaction just in case the Barbican rush does come, whether it's a barracks or something, or a sort of an outpost even for himself.
He would already see it coming up by now, and we do see the Imperial Academy in the base from DeMu right now.
Yeah. Imperial Academy is on its way. Still option for that Barbican to happen. Still wouldn't be surprised to see that, you know, sacred site barbecue control. Everyone loves that middle sacred site control on this map.
Yeah, it's just, let's just say, the easiest way to win, win games on this map. If you get into the position to like take the middle sacred site, it becomes very hard for your opponent to push you off that, and it just makes it such a compelling strat to go for.
Yep, Chapel getting pretty close to finishing on up. DeMu he's getting pretty close to being able to drop Song Dynasty, I assume, unless he does go for that faster castle play with into Palace Guards, which could be a little bit of a change up from what we typically see.
Yeah, that's definitely a viable strategy. I feel like with the Chinese, it still makes it a little bit messy at times, just because obviously HRE, they still have their Archon Chapel with the inspiration. Now, Prelate versus Imperial Official, sure you do get the tax, you get 20% bonus, but 40% efficiency still slightly tops that, I feel like.
Oh, and DeMu getting a quick textiles in. Huh. What's that make you think? Oh, no. Uh-oh. Is it going to be a late outpost rush or something?
Maybe?
I don't know.
This is surprising. Wait, where is he going with those villagers on wood now? Huh? What's he doing? Is he dropping off the...
I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, me too. Wait, now he's going to go over there? Now he's going to be taking that tree instead?
I think he wants to stay out of the scout vision or something, or I have no idea what's going through his good old mind right now.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, Leenock is really desperately looking for what DeMu is doing right now, and he's just... Wait, there we go. Now he's pulling the villagers forward. It's 8 villagers, it's just going to be a Barbican. Alright. He's not going to do anything too fancy here. Unless... Oh.
Will need to bring his scout here to get the boar in a position that he wants. If it is the Barbican, it's not a Barbican. He is moving further and further.
He is. Okay, I feel like... Yeah, okay, looking at the time, DeMu is tired. He wants to make a quick game out of this one. Either he wins or he doesn't. But this is going to be a really, really good Barbican for him. Denying all the food. Okay, Leenock needs to pull the sheep. There it goes. He's pulling the sheep back.
This is huge, though. This is that something else, and even more important, if he gets the wood to do it, he can follow this up with an outpost around on the gold vein.
Yeah, exactly, and looks like Leenock is now gonna try to get up to the next age as soon as possible. Now he is still gonna be able to grab these relics, and he is also getting a lot of ways to like get other resources now with that market. Right now he can go up for... He's going Burgrave?
I guess he's worried. He thinks he's got to break out of this, and this is what I thought was going to...
He switches it up. He's going Regnitz. Wait, no?
He's back on Burgrave. He sees the outpost. Look at this outpost. DeMu's immediately going to be able to upgrade it. Leenock's trying to fast build. It's not going to come fast enough, and this is going to full deny gold.
Fast.
Jump inside.
Oh
my God, Leenock. He's getting crushed.
But this is why he should have gone for the Regnitz, right? Because he then would have had the gold access, and he can still like make another mining camp on the opposite side of the gold mine and be fine.
Yeah, I guess that is a good point. But now getting that relic, it's he's got to walk into outpost territory. Should be able to grab it fine with the his outpost being so close. But I say that double hand cannon slits upgrade, and now an even more forward outpost. He's going to do this push and pull game. Leenock needs to jump inside of his outpost, but if he doesn't, it's going to allow DeMuslim to put another more forward outpost.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like DeMu's going to try to roam around the other side here now, but he's already getting the defensive emplacement as well on his outpost, so this is going to be really, really tough for Leenock to deal with. And
look at Leenock's queue. Look at his food.
He has no food left at all.
He's trying to get this relic. Oh no, he's going to be able to get this one. So does secure one. 1 minute arms pops out. That's all he has. That's all he can afford right now.
This is the thing. He shouldn't have gone for men at arms. Just go Regnitz. You're going to get the gold from the relics. Like you just try and grab those relics as fast as possible. Then you get passive gold income, and you just make a single siege workshop, a single trebuchet, and you'll be fine.
Oh, trying to outpost the wood line. Does secure up that relic. And the prelate able to jump inside the chapel to re-inspire that wood eco. Has outposted up his wood line, but he is running out of space.
There we go. Even more outposts. He's gonna run behind the wood line here potentially.
He could chop
There
through
we go.
behind. He can chop through behind it and drop an outpost on the other side. But there's that. Oh, ow!
That's textiles.
Textiles only loses 1 vil, but Siege Workshop is being dropped, and this is going to be what opens up the whole game for Leenock. He does need a good amount of wood to be able to secure this up. And oh no, he ran out of.
Oh
the sheep,
no!
The sheep
They're
haven't been
automatically
killed.
going through it.
Yeah, the sheep haven't been killed, and he's getting the pings because the hand cannon slits are attacking anyways. He just now realizes.
He's killed 9 builds. He's killed 9 builds so far.
And 9 vills at this point in the game, that's a third of your eco. And there's the chop through. This is what I was scared of. Chop through, place an outpost behind, woodline, full deny.
Leenock is 14 villagers behind in this game, and yeah, DeMu wins this. He actually wins this right now. The rush is complete. Now we got a trebuchet in the queue for Leenock, but he still feels like fish in the water. I feel like the only chance Leenock has right now, and as absurd as this might sound, is he needs to turtle up and try to find a way to Imperial Age behind this, because with such a villager lead...
I had to laugh. There's no way he can get there.
Yeah, it does appear so, but...
Where's he gonna get the food? He can't drop farms anywhere.
He still needs to do that. Like, I'm just saying what he needs to do, not that he's gonna be able to do this.
The trebuchet has come out, so he can start sieging down these outposts. It does take a while. This first one should resecure his gold vein, if he wants to build a good old mining camp on the other side. But this is the first step, was getting that trebuchet. There's a long road ahead of him, being down 16 villagers, and this is Song Dynasty China, so that's going to continue to climb on up, and he doesn't really have those villagers on the resources he needs to either. Oh, make that 15 villagers.
Oh, he's in such a rough position right now. Like, it's really tough for him, and behind all of this, Leenock, he hasn't grabbed textiles yet, and I mean, textiles does make a big difference, especially against like these hand canceling placements, because you're gonna lose like a villager after 3 shots. Actually, was this in range as well the entire time? Did you lose any more villagers to that?
All right, has resecured gold. Is out of food though. No more. Has got one last sheep under his town center on the opposite side. Can't really build farms around the chapel. Can't really build farms on the back side. This outpost can be healed up, but there's 2 trebs out now, and 2 trebs make quick work of outposts.
Yeah, exactly. So he's gonna be able to deal with that. I think Leenock, he has to be hitting himself right now. Just going for the Burgrave Palace in this situation, it just is really, really hurting him right now. He sees that the outpost is getting repaired, so now he's just gonna go to the other one. That doesn't really free up any resource that he needs right now.
Yeah, this is one of those, you're definitely right with the Burgrave choice. It did absolutely nothing. The first men-at-arms did nothing. And now he had to build a siege workshop. He's using the trebuchets. He has 5 men-at-arms out that are doing nothing. So really, wow, 3 trebs. So once he breaks out of this, he will break out of this quite quickly, as these outposts, they're getting taken down in the blink of an eye, but the Muslim is matching the Castle Age and doing it with an actual eco behind it.
Yeah, 20 villager economy difference. No food income at all for Leenock right now, and now he's starting to add in some farms, but he doesn't even have a prelate inside of his Archon right now.
Oh, look at that. 2nd relic secured.
It's something. Getting there. Early.
Yeah, and I will say, once he takes out the Barbican, that resecures all of the deer, so he can get food again, away from this 0 food per minute. But the clock tower's finished, so much for that siege superiority. It's actually Nest of Bees being the choice for the Muslim, even though there's triple trebs, and it's just that kind of Chinese way, as they love their Nest of Bees.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he probably just made that as a response for any aggression that's now coming out of Leenock now that he's broken out. I'm not sure if DeMu knows how many villagers he's killed so far, or just how much idle time he's caused. But like, let's be honest, there definitely was some idle time on the TC of Leenock. else this villager discrepancy, even with the 13 villager kills, shouldn't be possible, I believe. And yeah, it's really tough for him to get back into this now. I think, as I said earlier, what he needs to do right now. Oh, the Barbican's still up.
I was like, the Bills are running back a little early. He got a little bit ahead of himself. He's going to grab a little bit more gold, but you can see how desperately he needs this food. DeMu's able to just climb up his military mass so much faster because Leenock can't.
Sacred Side, keep, and yeah, that's going to be Sacred Side victory here. I don't think that Leenock is going to be in a position to come back from this, especially once he sees that there's already a keep out. Now, it looks like DeMu did actually cancel his Nest of Bees, and now both of them are going to be making Sprinkles. But these Sprinkles from DeMu are going to be with the Clock Tower added bonus. So they're going to have a lot more HP. Sure, now Leenock is going to finally be able to get some food income once again. But economically, he's so far behind. I feel like he could have potentially somehow gotten up to Imperial here. Mainly through market abusing. I feel like if maybe he chopped through a little bit behind his gold mine and just got a lot of gold and somehow used that to sling his way up to Imperial Age, maybe then he could have come back from this, and that's definitely an option to go for. But him not going for that means that now all the map control here is on DeMu's side, and this is really.
I will say he does have
from.
the triple trebuchets to already start sieging that keep down immediately, so the damage comes down quite quickly. It was going to go ahead and start depleting the stone reserves on DeMu's side, and 3 Sprinkles are already out. So the Horseman transition is going to be the key for Leenock. Is he going to have the food to support this? Not currently, but he will in a little bit if he gets more time.
Yeah, Sprinkles numbers are currently in favor of Leenock, but those are still the Clock Tower Sprinkles, so you're gonna need at least 3 Sprinkles in order to one-shot your opponent's Sprinkles. And right now it's 2-2 Sprinkles, meaning that DeMu right now has the advantage. Traps are gonna get pushed back here now. Something that Leenock's doing quite well though is he's hiding the Horseman, the fact that he's switching into Horseman, so DeMu doesn't know about those. And actually, look at that. The deer are almost all completely gathered up right now. Leenock inhaled those at lightning speed.
Oh yeah, he needed food so bad. It was his only chance to get back in it, and the villagers were just ready and waiting. It was like 10, 15, 20 villagers that he was like, all right, now go, unleash the hounds, and they just all charged for those deer, and now we'll need to get more farms, but I feel like doesn't have the space.
Yeah, behind this, DeMu also grabbing up so many of these relics. He's got 3 relics now. He's got the Sacred Side, so passive gold also looking really nice for him. You can see he's got a really significant gold bank right now. And when it comes to massing siege, he's now also getting an additional siege workshop next to that Clock Tower siege workshop. And the keep is fully repaired now. Leenock's gonna have to siege it all over again, and right now, I doubt that Leenock has what it takes in order to win the siege war.
No, it's just so hard against those Clock Tower Sprinkles. Does get a first shot on the crossbows. So 4 Sprinkles versus 4 Sprinkles going to favor the Chinese. Leenock obviously having to pull back from that. You can see how he's running out of space, and Trebs actually get taken out before Greased Axles is through. I thought that was kind of because of Greased Axles, but nope.
Just the pathing with the Barbican being there, blocking a lot of that forward pathing. And DeMu is now pushing ahead when it comes to the Sprinkle count. I wouldn't be surprised if he's also just supervising one of his... Oh, didn't fire there for DeMu.
Oh, okay. It's a 2-for-1 pickup.
Which he, to be fair, needed. But yeah, now it's 2-2. And once it's 2-2, then the Chinese Sprinkles are always going to be favored. So that was a good trade there for Leenock, but not going to be enough for now. Look at the destruction value right now. DeMu so far destroyed twice as much value from Leenock than the other way around. And I mean, considering that he only had outposts in the base of Leenock, that's quite a bit.
Yes, it is. Crossbows starting to move up. Horsemen are starting to push as well. But will it be enough? Sprinkles. Trade happens. Oh. Oh, and Leenock oversteps with the Springles. Both get taken out for nothing. Horsemen are diving with the land snakes as well, though. And this might be a fight that DeMu wasn't ready for, as he was mainly prepping Springles for siege, had crossbows, but Leenock has the perfect counter. Still diving on that crossbow mass. Crossbow mass getting lower. And some of the military actually diving on to the villagers, but not going to be enough, and Leenock is pushed back yet again.
Yeah, it's also an issue with the keeping there, so all the horsemen getting killed really, really quickly, and now we're starting to get to that 5-minute mark, and Leenock just doesn't have the answer right now that he needs. He's still almost 30 villagers behind when it comes to DeMu, and the siege number, just the siege fighting here. Looking at the income, DeMu is just able to afford so much more siege when it comes to his wood and gold income right now. Sure, Leenock, he managed to somehow keep up with the food income, actually almost doubling the food income from DeMu. But DeMu isn't making any food-heavy units right now, so he doesn't care about that. He's got 1,500 wood per minute income.
Yeah, he knows all he has to do is hold this middle positioning, hold the sacred site, and the way to do that is siege superiority. You can see now he's transitioned into Nest of Bees, having taken down some of the Springles and Trebs on the other side. And now the Nest of Bees going to help him out into the infantry war, moving up with the Springled greased axles, going to be able to chase these down. Huh?
He is now going to be able to shoot. Does decide against it. Oh!
Good little pickup by
from Leenock.
Yeah, Leenock showing the micro, but I don't think micro is going to be good enough. It's just too much damage that he took earlier on.
Yeah, the Springle numbers. I mean, Leenock is taking really good trades every now and then, but it doesn't matter because he's never going to be able to catch up in numbers here to what's up. And now there's a second keep. 4 minutes left on the sacred side. DeMu doubling the military number from Leenock and also having more siege out in the field means that's going to be impossible for for Leenock to push DeMu off of the sacred side.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure DeMu could like stop playing at this point. As long as his units attack when Leenock moves forward, he would end up winning just because of how much those keeps will end up doing, and that siege mass can end up doing to the other side too.
Exactly. He could just pull all of his villagers onto the sacred side and go AFK, maybe grab something to drink here and be fine with that.
One of those Trebs still rather low, needs to be careful of those. And ooh, villagers are going to be taken out with the Springles, just using their range and saying, you know, why not if you're going to offer them up as a sacrifice?
Not like there is a big enough villager difference already by now.
3-minute upgrade has completed, and Hardened Spearman is through.
Yeah. Surely they are going to be able to help Leenock come back here. I mean, now boiling oil is also going to be coming in. This is just... There's so many Springles. He has 9 Springles out on the field right now. 9 Springles versus 6 from Leenock, and Leenock has just been making Springles the entire time. It's just that DeMu has 2 siege workshops.
Oh, Horseman trying to dive forward. Spots out that next keep, and the mass behind it. Springles starting to take their trades. The Horseman moving forward as well, but the Nest of Bees, huge fire onto that Horseman mass, immediately forced them on their back foot, and the Springle trade is definitely still going to go into Muslim's favor, as there is only 1 Springle left at half health, and I don't see any orange, and I don't see any more of Leenock in this game.
This is going to be your first set of the day that's going to go to game 3.
Yeah, and that one we kind of saw the writing on the wall a lot earlier than when it ended up ending, but I think that the point that Leenock got to, there were a couple different spots that I felt like he almost was coming back and almost back in the game until DeMu was just able to make a couple better trades.
Yeah.
It's not about that series yet. It's about this one we have here in front of us. It's DeMu spawning in the south as the French in the blue. And in the north, it's Leenock on the Mongols in the red.
Yeah, looking at the spawn right now from Leenock, it's not one of the most optimal spawns for Mongols. We can see that his TC is pretty far away from his gold and his stone. So a little bit unfortunate here with the spawn. On the other hand side, though, looking at DeMu's base, his gold is also relatively far away from his TC, so that's definitely something that could be under under pressure from a tower rush. Yeah, that's really far away. That gold is insanely far away from the TC.
Yeah, that does feel like an extra tile or so, but, you know, it's just like that sometimes on these map generations. The good thing for him, though, his secondary golds are on the exact opposite side of it. So we'll have to be another outpost coming out, and by the time a second outpost comes out that far away, DeMu should easily be able to have his range down and first archer out to the night.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably the most appropriate response as the French. Just age up, get your archer range out, and it might be that your opponent gets an outpost up, but in that case, you just use your archers and you prevent them from getting any more outposts up afterward. After that, you may have to give up a little bit of your base, or at least a little bit of the space in your base, but it's not going to prevent you from making knights, adding in more and more army. What is difficult, however, is that looking at where the additional food resources are located on the map here, right next to the gold mine, there's also deer. Then behind that is another deer pack, and then there's the boar. So there's a big incentive here for the Muslim to not really let that first outpost go up.
Yeah, luckily he does have some berries behind it, but that's not the efficient food. That's not the food you want to be on. You want to be on the best stuff out there, and the best stuff out there is boar and then deer close to follow.
Yeah, exactly, and there we go. School of Cavalry is going to be built right now with 5 villagers, so it's getting rushed pretty quickly here. Leenock already with his 4 spearmen running across the map, and is going to be able to drop his first outpost next to the gold mine here now.
Yeah, in between the golden wood, so we'll not be denying up the deer, but we'll give him vision of it and knowing it's there. Spears can also step forward, start to harass these gold villagers, try to get a burn down, and I was about to say try to get an attack on the mining camp before it gets deleted, but not able to do so. Sometimes you'll see players with their con swing by and hit an auto off on it first with the con before that can happen to get the gold on over too.
Beautiful play here by DeMu, denying Leenock 50 resources here through that burning of the mining camp. And yeah, he's gonna be able to go up, and looks like he is prepping himself for an archery range, having a lot of villagers on wood on those straggler trees around his town center. Outpost though is gonna be going up here, meaning that it's gonna be a little bit tough here for DeMu to go onto his first wood line, and especially onto his gold.
Yeah, and a lot of times here you'll see the Mongol player sometimes try to greed for another outpost, or sometimes they'll just say, all right, that outpost, you did what I needed you to do. You delayed the initial gold production. You've caused some annoyance and delay, and now I'm going to bring you on home.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit of delay. And Mongols is one of these civilizations, like, it feels like they invest a lot into these early aggression kind of pushes that they put out. Like they get the outpost out, that's a lot of resource. They have a villager run all the way across the map. They send a lot of spearmen. And yeah, it feels like that should be a big investment, but it actually isn't. It really isn't. Okay, wait. Okay, so interestingly enough, we have Leenock going for the deer stones here. Even though he does have a relatively nice market in the back, so he could have definitely went on for the silver tree here. Decides against this, is going to go for the deer stones instead. Gonna be interesting to see what he's going to go for. Maybe he's going to go for like a fast castle age now behind this. Just going to put an outpost on his gold maybe, and then try to rush up his step redoubt into a couple of knights. That could be an idea. Behind this, DeMu is looking to go for a second TC.
Yeah, I think that idea makes perfect sense. If he spots out the secondary TC now in a second, the faster castle might just be the play from Leenock, knowing that it's harder to trade and get that trade actually working in the long term against a civilization such as the French. Very, very feudally aggressive, very tempo aggressive as well with it. And, you know, DeMu just choosing to drop a second TC and hopefully bolster up his eco to turn into aggression as well.
Yeah, now Leenock reached the Feudal Age. We can already see that DeMu with the French being 3 villagers ahead. That's just due to just how quickly the French TCs produce villagers by default. We see Leenock now actually making a stable, so he is making some horsemen here. Is going to force DeMu into response. He does see the stable, so he's going to be knowing that horsemen are going to be coming out from his opponent. Doesn't quite have the stone yet that he needs to have for his second TC. He's probably going to get that at some point soon, though. Yeah, there it is. He's just a little bit away. Wait, what?
I was about to say something. I was like, they're just taking a little ride, you know. They're along for the trip, and then they're gonna join back in. Perfect scouting by DeMu here, just tracking those first 2 horsemen that pop out. Leenock trying to deny that, but really what DeMu's doing is just delaying this and allowing this secondary TC to go down.
It's interesting that the secondary TC is being put on the gold here. I mean, it means that DeMu is going to have access to gold, but much more important, food. Where is he going to be getting his food from? Now, he does still have the berries there next to his TC. After that, he still has 2 more berry bushes in the back of his base. He does have wheelbarrows, so it's not too much idle time to go for that. Now his scout is going to likely be going down to these horsemen. But yeah, berries usually isn't what you want to be gathering from. It's just a relatively slow food source. It's now adding in a blacksmith as well. Could potentially be looking for a barracks at some point as well, just to deal with the horsemen that are out on the field. Or now that he has access to gold.
Late double broad X, but looks like Leenock going for a secondary TC himself, but with some aggression here with it, as he's got almost 900 wood in the bank and should be dropping that. It looks like he's moving out over to the deer to drop it.
Yeah, so second TC from the Mongols here, obviously that's something that you might need to do just in order to keep up with the villagers. But French 2 TC is pretty much almost like any other civs, like 3 TC. It's like as efficient as 2.5 town centers almost from other civs. So even though they're both on like 2 TCs, DeMu is gonna continuously pull ahead when it comes to the villager count. And Leenock is definitely gonna have to look out for that.
Yep, looks like DeMu forced off of that initial wood line, fully transitions to that back wood line. So now Leenock and DeMu both on those secondary TCs, and it's all going to be aggression from here forward, probably into some Castle Age play as well.
Yeah, now DeMu, he finally has access to gold again. Looks like he is going to be trying to wall up his base as he is dropping down walls towards the east now. And he does make another mill next to the berries at the bottom side. So he is going to be sticking this out in Feudal Age, it appears to be. And he's going to be making knights now. Yeah, so this is going to be Feudal Age aggression now from DeMu. Question is Leenock going to try and stay in Feudal Age? Because now he's in a position where if he stays in Feudal Age, he's going to be having a really, really bad time as the game continues on. And yeah, DeMu's just gonna get more and more villagers. Funnily enough, yeah, right now it's a 5 villager lead, and it's just gonna get bigger and bigger. And I'm not sure if Leenock really knows what to do here now. He's making more and more units right now. I'm really not sure if he's gonna be able to keep up with DeMu's units, just because knights are just so strong. He does have the right composition in theory. He does have spearmen and horsemen. Yeah, it's a rough position for him for sure.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, French at least is in his base rather than focusing down the other side. So I mean, that's the only real positive to look at, but it's going to be harder, as you were saying, as the game goes on. Mongols, they don't have these walls. They have outposts they can put up. Great, but walls are a lot more secure. They allow a lot more timing, and there gets to a point where your opponent has French knights, and 10 French knights to a couple outposts, even with arrow slits on it, they're like, haha, thanks, you know, we'll take our kills and roll on out.
Yeah, exactly. And DeMu's just making more and more knights, 3 knights, another one in the queue. Also has a steady archer production right now, and I mean, the second DeMu decides to also add in some spearmen, it's gonna start getting really rough for Leenock. Horseman getting not a kill there. Was really close though. Almost got a kill.
Yeah, DeMu doing a really good job of keeping his vills alive, but Leenock pressuring out those food resources. There's no deer for him. There's no boar for him like we pointed out at the very beginning of the game. There will be a transition point that DeMu's going to have to get heavier onto farms unless he's able to resecure this location. Looks like he's diving that outpost. There are some spears inside that tower, but Leenock does not have the rest of his army there, nor is the rest of his army close enough.
Yeah, he's going to be able to take out a couple of these archers, though, with the outpost. He killed 2 so far. A third one's going to go down now. Maybe he could get a 4th one. And if he gets 4 of them, then that's going to be pretty even with the...
Scout taken out, though.
That was a horseman, not a scout, so even more value.
Either way, whether it was scout or horseman, still able to get a pickup with those before they're taken out with all the archers that were ready and they're surrounding it. So really good job at Leenock. He's just massing up, and it's almost like he's just like ready and waiting. Like he's like, look, I only have 4 horsemen. Come take this fight. And it's like, no, he has his little secondary force at home he's been massing.
Yeah, but this is the breakthrough that Leenock has been waiting for. He took out the outpost, and now he immediately went out to the deer. He might even go out to the next deer patch there. He's got his archers still patrolling around there, and now we see the knights. It's only the knights, not the archers, so DeMu is not sending all of his units out. Units are going to have to run. Movement speed arrow is going to get popped here.
Yeah, really good job escaping that. Doesn't take any damage down. I say that. He runs a little bit in front, but getting a little bit closer to his spears, trying to bait the knights in, but DeMu knows better than stepping on up into some stealth forest.
Yeah, and behind this, I mean, DeMu, he's now also adding in some spears of his own, and once he gets a couple of spears going in as well, that means that these horsemen are going to be having a really bad time. Now, there are 14 horsemen right now and 14 spearmen. Military numbers are somewhat even, but the knights... Oh no! Oh no!
He's not reacting! Oh, that's so much damage.
Yeah, one of these knights is really low HP as well. That just was tremendous damage being dealt to DeMu, and now Leenock just broke through. He's onto the TC there. Villagers are just gonna hop inside. Only 10 villagers in gold, meaning all villagers will find a spot there.
Yep.
And DeMu's about to just fully wall his base in right now.
Yeah, a lot of wood investment for these walls, but he is feeling like he is playing English and just wanting to play this in the long game, which is a weird feeling, but Leenock is about to be going up to castle behind it. Will he be able to turn that into something beneficial for him, or is he going to just keep falling further and further behind like we've been talking about? Oh, so close on that wall.
Yeah, that was really close. He almost could have gotten through there, but right now he's doing the right thing. He's just running around. He's going to try and get damage at all of these like different angles, trying to distract his opponent. And I mean, this also causes DeMu to reinvest into his military, and this is going to give Leenock a nice little timing as soon as he's going to get up with his separate out.
Yeah, immediately going to be able to transition into alternative military units that are going to be a lot stronger as he's going to be Castle Age. He's going to be able to double produce with that nice stone reserve he's built up in the bank as well.
Yeah, question is what he's going to go for. I feel like, first of all, he has already got so many spearmen horsemen out, he's going to need to get those up to veterancy. Then I think that he should probably also just try and, first of all, get working on some of these relics. Drop a monastery, get at least a single shaman out, and yeah, some crossbows in it as well, just for these enemy knights, because DeMu is up. Wait, how did DeMu get so many resources suddenly? He's almost about to click up as well.
Yeah, it just shows the power of that little bit of extra eco. And when you're on deer, it's one of those when you can like force drop off and you have like 15 vills on deer, they all hold so much more when they're on deer. That's probably what happened over on the west side.
Yeah, now he's aging up with 25 villagers. That Royal Institute is going to be going up in the blink of an eye. And with that, veteran Royal Knights are going to be up soon as well.
Yeah, so much for that, what we thought was going to be a quicker Castle Age timing for Leenock. Yes, it was a little bit quicker, but not quick enough for upgrades even to come through or any advantage to be, you know, tilted back in his favor. No relics secured yet, although he does have a good old Imam in queue.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he built his monastery. Those might actually be double produced Imam. Actually, looking at the stone, maybe it's a double produced Imam. He's got another one in queue now. He's making crossbowmen now as well. so is getting some Castle Age units out at the same time. These knights, not knights, these horsemen for the veteran horsemen for Mongols, they look so similar to knights.
Yeah, this is just such a feels bad. Imagine if we would have had a silver tree this game. French has been so on the back foot, obviously probably because he didn't see the silver tree and was like, all right, I'm feeling good about this. But trading could have been so hard paying off on this game.
True. Trade definitely could have helped him a lot in this game. I mean, he still gets a really nice eco boost out of the early Yam aura network that's going to be affecting his villagers and also his infantry overall, which is quite nice, especially in combination with Wheelbarrow. It makes it pretty much impossible to get villager kills against the Mongols because the villagers move with like 1.5 tile movement speed.
Yep, first relic has been secured, second one picked up, but same thing goes over on the side of DeMu, who has secured his first relic.
Yeah, so it's all gonna be about. Wait, actually, yeah, Leenock already has a unit on the other relic in the corner. So, is that already a shaman on there, or is it just a unit that's trying to deny it from being taken by DeMu? I think this might be a 4-to-1 count here. Okay, it's just some horsemen here, but I think this might be a 4-to-1 count when it comes to relics.
Yeah, does look like it will end up being the case as he is securing that eastern relic, and we just saw the western one has the military focus. First gold vein runs out for DeMu, but no worries as he's got another 2 inside his walls that he's built.
Yeah. He also completely finished up the stone mine, so that means he probably already has a keep in his base on his production buildings. So his units right now that he's producing are gonna be insanely cheap. The horsemen basically only cost as much as a sofa, and the arbalistry are also gonna be incredibly cheap of a unit right now. I think it goes down to like 20-ish. No, I think it's like 30. Only 30 gold, like 60 or 70 food. It becomes incredibly cheap to make those units.
That's one of those things that you definitely have to prioritize once Castle Age comes as the French. Get a keep on your stables and archery productions. We have a little bit of a religious dance on the Eastern Sacred Site as they are just having a nice standoff against each other over there on that eastern end. Villagers, though, for Leenock are kind of moving out, building outposts all around the map.
Royal Bloodlines has also come in so far for DeMu, so these knights right now have 310 HP. These are insanely tanky knights, and you cannot underestimate those. They take a lot of hits in order to go down, and right now Leenock only has like 6 crossbows. He needs way more. He needs like 25 in order to reliably take them down.
Yeah, he's hoping that a fight gets taken, but you know, that's one of these that players don't take losing fights that often unless they're forced to. And 38 spears, yeah, they're the correct unit to take down knights efficiently, but the fight has to be taken. Horsemen diving in, and units not yet clashing as DeMu does not want to take this, as I was just kind of mentioning.
This is where the aura also comes into effect. Right now, he does have the added bonus of the mobility. All his units are just incredibly fast. Right now, Leenock is finally making a couple more crossbows. I'm just not sure if the timing is on the side right now. Ooh, okay. It kills one of these knights, but the army is there for the Muslim. And let's not forget that these Arbalistry probably already have Gambersons on them, and with that much pierce melee armor, neither the horsemen nor the spearmen are going to be able to take them down efficiently.
Oh, a little bit of a miss micro there by Leenock. Knights were able to dive in on the mangonel for absolutely nothing. Spears mispositioned, and now the horsemen not even able to circle on top of the ranged mass of the Muslim. So the Muslim just taking a very, very good fight on this front line that's now right next to the Steppe Redoubt.
Yeah, Leenock, he still has a lot of units in the production queue right now, but the question is it going to be enough? He doesn't have that many units on the field right now. Now the Steppe Redoubt is under attack, and I mean, sure, a lot of these knights are low HP right now, but the knights aren't the only problem. There's still a lot of archers, a lot of Arbalistry, and the Arbalistry with the Gambeson upgrade, it just makes them so tanky. And now the units, it's just the knights, they're still so tanky. It's just a meat shield that Leenock is not able to push through right now.
Yes, Spearman count has gotten absolutely demolished from about 40 spears to under 10 and continuing to fall here now. No fight going to be able to be taken by Leenock anytime soon with the amount of military that DeMu has out on his side.
Yeah, and right now DeMu, he's just pumping out knights, he's pumping out arbaletier, and that's a composition that is really, really tough to crack. You're going to be needing mangonels, but at the same time, you have to be really, really defensive about them, because if your mangonels get sniped by the knights, then you won't be able to keep pushing forward. And now Leenock is able to push back a little bit further. He did have the benefit of the Springled Emplacement outpost, helping him quite a lot during these fights. Is now going to be able to rebuild that outpost. Behind this, he did have 2 sacred sites, so the gold income for him is really, really nice so far, even if he did get idled on that step redoubt. Now he does have the mangonel, but there's only 1 knight. If he's able to repair it.
Oh my gosh, that was too close for comfort, as I was clinching to say the least there for Leenock. Able to keep the mangonel alive, able to push away this ranged mass for the time being, especially as his reinforcements continue to push forward.
These spearmen just did absolutely no damage to these arbaletier. It's insane. The gap is an upgrade. It's one of the upgrades in the game. Let's just say it, put it like that. It's absolutely insane. These arbaletier in the late game, they can go up to 9 melee armor.
Yeah, just kind of a unit that is good against everything other than mangonels, I guess, unless you're that effective with the spread formation and with your micro dodging it. But Leenock, he still has this map control, or had this map control, but DeMu is starting to break out, starting to retake this control and push out further and further out on the map with the keep on this central sacred site.
Correction, 10 melee armor. They all get another melee armor boost once they get to elite. So, yeah, they can go up to 10 melee armor, and that's a little bit ridiculous, I must say.
Boar being denied, deer not able to be spotted out. This just shows you the importance of raiding with a scout, as would be able to see a couple more of these villagers, and Knight circling, probably going to go hit the next food location, and luckily Leenock did not have that Treb sniped as it came out.
Yeah, looks like DeMu might be finding those villagers on the berries at the top side, though. Yeah, there he is. He finds the villagers from Leenock on the top side. Knights are going to be diving towards those. At the same time, Leenock is also in the base from the Muslim, tries to get some value here. But the Muslim, he does have his arbaletier in his base, and with those, he's going to be perfectly able to defend. And now there's even a red palace going up. Once the red palace is up, I don't see a way for Leenock to really come back here right now. He does have really good food income, but the Muslim's food income is just better right now, so is the gold income. And I mean, sure, Leenock has more relics, but there's still almost 22 villager lead right now for Leenock, for the Muslim.
Yeah, and the Imperial Age is really going to be that differing factor. It secures up his next gold location, secures up the boar and some deer and some stone as well with it. So just a nice little array of everything there. But more importantly, DeMu's not going up to Imperial at the sacrifice of military or eco or whatever. He's at max pop right now. He's got nothing else to spend these resources on.
What if Leenock goes up with the Carganet Palace and gets like 3 Nest of Bees in a row?
3 Hui Pals?
Maybe 2. That could also work.
He has 5 traction trebuchets out. He's got the siege superiority as far as Springalds and Trebs, but I don't think he has the mass to win a fight, or I guess not. He has the mass to win a fight. The efficiency on his mass to win the fight.
Yeah, that's it exactly. And also these traction trebuchets, they take so long. They take so long to take a keep down, and he has 5 of them. That's 15 population. That could be like 50 knights. Could be
double mangonel shot. That is one way to start coming back, and the knights, they just threw themselves all away.
Ooh.
Oh my
Okay.
god. Well, forget everything we just said, as the Muslim might have had a couple misclicks, a little bit of some miss micro there, and Leenock flips the military numbers upside down and wipes the floor with some mangonel shots.
Yeah, now he's in a really, really good position all of a sudden. I mean, still, the military count, the Muslim, he is still massing a lot. He still has a lot of units in the queue. But this definitely gives him a big, big tempo boost now. The Mangonel does have very little HP, and now the Knights upgrade to Elite might be able to push through. Oh, it dies just in time! Oh, wow! Another one.
That Mangonel is just the perfect godchild there of Leenock, and the white stupa is chosen. Forget the Cognate Palace, as Leenock feels like he is right there in it. He wants the extra production for his Uvu, or for his pastures around, as the white stupa is an Uvu, and he's starting to push down onto the base of DeMu and putting some pressure in. Was this an early age up by DeMu potentially?
Maybe. I mean, it seemed like he had the resources to get the important upgrades immediately, but then it's just the fight that was taken and the big Mangonel shots that suddenly shifted it all around, and now there's just a couple of horsemen, some knights, but I feel like if Leenock just regroups again, his army is going to be in a really good spot now. There aren't too many trebuchets remaining from Leenock, so this keep that just got put up, it's going to take a little bit in order to take it down. Leenock now reaching the Imperial Age. He is looking really, really good right now. Now, the Separate Out, it's still going to be really, really valuable at this point in the game. His Castle Age landmark is going to give him a lot of gold.
Imperial Age Rams. I knew it. I knew you saw it too. The Imperial Age Rams, they are so strong now. I will say that French Knights do very well against them, but if French Knights are charging the Rams and not your crossbow mass, you're pretty happy about this.
Yeah, the thing is also, if you get all the upgrades on the Rams and you also get the bounty upgrade for the Mongols, you can just make like 4 or 5 Rams and try to get them into the base of your opponent. Once they get onto the farms, you're going to be swimming in bounty. You're going to get like 225 resources with every single farm that's been killed. So you only need to kill 2 farms and you almost paid off for 2 Rams.
And I think he already has the Ram, or the raid bounty bonus. Great spear positioning by Leenock, cutting off a few of these knights, but needs to fast build some outposts, as there will be a sacrifice there in his eco. Another keep being dropped by DeMuslim. This has been the age of keeps here today for DeMuslim, as it is just keep after keep after keep to secure up his eco.
Alright, Outpost has gone up, so no additional movement speed is unlocked for those spearmen. They're going to be able to at least chase a little bit better here. Looks like DeMu wants to take some fights against the villagers that are currently gathering food here for Leenock. He's going to get a couple of kills here, actually. Some really good value here. I mean, the knights are all going to go down, but they're going to kill like 15 villagers going down there. Actually, 20 villagers that went down.
That is a huge, huge hole into Leenock's food eco. And even though Leenock has a huge mass, he's not paying attention to it. DeMuslim, he's showing who the Lenoctopus actually is, and it's him. He's diving in onto the gold as well, was diving in onto those pasture farms as well. But is he overstepping here? Knights still pushing forward. Vills being idled, and Rams not finding anywhere to go.
Did at least finally kill that Mangonel that irked him so much earlier, and it's something, but Spearman mass right now for Leenock, it's just not where it's supposed to be. It's really hard for him right now to have his units at the right place at the right time, and Horsemen right now are trying to take fights against the Arbaletier. We can see though, it takes quite a few hits for these Arbaletier in order, for these Horsemen, or to kill the Arbs, and that's just due to the Gamberson update. Once again, Knights are into the food economy from Leenock. His food has fallen quite a bit. He was at over 2,000 food per minute. Right now, only sitting at a mere 1,000. So the damage definitely shows. And I feel like Leenock might have to pull some villagers from wood over to food in order to keep up his production right now. And more military coming in from DeMu. His food bank is looking really good right now as well. And right now, Leenock, he seems to be struggling.
He's struggling hard, trying to drop more outposts instead of walls, because he can't drop any walls, but outposts are just not proving to be enough. It's mass horsemen, mass knights, and still those arbs as the main French combination for their mass. Gold has been delayed for the time being, but more importantly, Leenock is hurting on food. He needs more food to get more military out, but that number, it's just not rising for him.
Yeah, the Rams are being taken out right now as well, and the issue is that DeMu on all of his production buildings are under keep, so he's getting his units for really, really cheap. We can see that he's just spamming horsemen, which are usually really hard to keep up with, just because they cost so much food every time, but for him, it's not 100 food that he's investing into them. It's only 75 food, and once again, raids in the food economy from Leenock. Mangonel's exposed.
Oh, but main army force arrives just in time to save one of them. Second one does get taken down, but these are just horsemen that DeMu's just thrown away because he has the resources to do so. This is all idling and annoying on Leenock's side of the map, and that is the key here.
Yeah, I mean, the units from Leenock, they still have that movement boost from the Yamara network, so at least they're a little bit more effective when it comes to like catching up to units. Just as I say that, they leave the influence, and yeah, Leenock might need a couple more outposts there towards the front. But the issue is that the stream of units just right now isn't letting up at all. It's just more and more units coming forward here from DeMu, and it's just not really that possible here for Leenock to keep up with the production that's being put out right now because of these raids that he had to suffer on his food economy.
Yeah, this always gets to a point in the game with Mongrels that if they don't have a bunch of outposts prepped already, it's so easy to just continually dive their eco. Yeah, they might have the vision, but you don't have the mobility playing against the knights and massing up spearmen yourself.
Oh, maybe another potential good Mangonel snipe.
Yeah. Couple good Mangonel shots actually. On the other side, as it was able to get a couple of those hand cannoneers, a couple of the arbs as well, but it just still seems like Leenock is running out of steam and just running out of steam faster and faster.
Couple more shots coming in. DeMu microing away from them. Spearman count is falling more and more. Couple more good shots though. Bombard emplacement also up now on the gold mines from Leenock.
Yep, just all you see though is this constant red stream of units and a forward keep snuck in by the Muslim. All the previous keeps were nice and conservative in his eco to help his production, but not that one. He is ready to start ending this game. Leenock at 22 military and hurting very hard, cannot get himself up to max population, whereas the Muslim just sitting at max pop, sitting with tons and tons of resources, is now getting to the heart of Leenock's economy.
Yeah, DeMu has pretty much all the necessary or like the really important upgrades. He does have food tier 3. He does have the wood upgrade tier 2. Meanwhile, Leenock, he doesn't have the gold upgrade or even the first gold upgrade. He's still sitting on Castle Age food and wood upgrades. The income just isn't going to be able to keep up here.
This is just full control for DeMu over here. He is tripling on that military. Yeah, he might not have the siege, but you don't need the siege if you have the cavalry to take down your opponents.
Yeah, exactly, and especially with against a civilization like Mongols, they don't have keeps, they don't have walls. You don't need siege. It's fine. You can just make units and be fine with that. Now there are starting to be quite a lot of these cannon emplacement outposts right now, which are definitely annoying. But DeMu is still managing to just get in there, keep killing villagers as well. So far 50 villager kills here for DeMu against Leenock.
Yeah, and Leenock's starting to run out of space on that map. What?
Whoa, he doesn't notice. Okay, as soon as he notices,
okay. That's game. I mean, all of those sheep are
he's
going to need to come with it. He rallies the Vills all back with that TC, but now that keep spam gets to move up a little bit further, and while Leenock's distracted on the food, DeMu dives the gold, dives the next vital resource, the next vital location.
Yeah, this is the point at which Leenock will have to call GG at some point soon. He just doesn't have the resources in order to deal with the military right now that's out on the field from Leenock. Also doesn't have the production. He's only making spearmen right now, and that doesn't work against Archer and Arbaletier, especially not against the French Arbaletier, which also, they get the melee armor and they also get faster attack speed. And yeah, this is just the point of no return now. The step redoubt is also being taken down now by all of these horsemen, and this is just the point of no return. There are some rams coming up now in order to deal with that keep, but it's just all for nothing right now. Even more keeps being dropped right now, and DeMu is just attacking Leenock from every single side.
Yeah, not much wood left on DeMu's side. He's running out of resources, running out of map space, and DeMu is adding to that kind of compression coming in on his base as more of these outposts get taken down as they're going up, and not too much space left for these villagers to go or gather resources as Leenock yet again finds another keep.
Yeah, that's just more villagers going down. I feel like at that point, it's probably time for him to call it. I mean, destruction value looking good for him, but looking at the army value, what DeMu has on the field right now is more than double what Leenock has. And the prospect is that he's not going to be able to re-afford that, as 81 villagers have been killed so far by DeMu in this game. Leenock right now sitting at 120 pop versus 200. Only 90 villagers out on the field right now.
Yeah, and you can see the resources in the bank definitely go with that, as well as the queue. Leenock has 2 hand cannoneers and 3 mangoes in queue, whereas DeMu is over there at max pop with 34 horsemen in queue, just waiting to just immediately replace these that go down.
Yeah, Leenock is still a fighter. He still keeps trying in there, but mangonels are being taken down, and surely, I say surely, soon, Leenock is gonna realize now even the prayer tents are gonna be under attack. Golden Come is gonna be completely denied here as soon as those go down.
Looks like some vills are moving up. I think he spotted out that giant wood swap for Leenock in that middle forest, and gonna go try to deny that and delay that on up. But in the main heart of Leenock's eco, everything's getting burnt. Production just disappearing.
Yeah, it wouldn't come. If those wood lines get denied, I feel like maybe now is the point for DeMu to just pull his cavalry onto that wood line. And I mean, a single ram is going to try to take down the keep that's being built now by those villagers, but fight is happening here. Only a single mangonel trying to fight against all of these arbaletiers, and DeMu, he's just trying to surround, potentially trying to snipe the mangonel, now running from behind the pastures, and is getting hits on the mangonel.
No, barely able to pick it up through all of those smaller choke points. Arbs just firing down this whole time, and the middle keep does go up. Villagers just running back home, but there's nowhere to go. Maybe running all the way to that other side. Woodline keeps are already up, but at even worse spot at home, there is just more military units that have been taken down.
Yeah, this is just I'm not sure what Leenock is still doing in this game at this point in time. I mean, he's holding on. He really is holding on. I mean, sure, we got the absolute caster advantage right now. We can see just how many resources DeMu has in the bank and how many Leenock has in the bank, but Leenock, he has no more gold access at all. Leenock is also on the large gold towards the east, and there's one more gold there that he can take. DeMu, I mean, is. And yeah, he's now even stealing the relics from Leenock.
Yeah, this is a real big feels bad moment for Leenock. He held in here for so long, but just has not been able to do it, and there's really no way that I see him coming back into this game with the point he's at right now.
Yeah, exactly. Somehow his food income is looking good now, but that's probably just because he has nowhere else to go with his villagers. Meaning that instead of going to wood, he probably has all of them on food right now. He has no wood at all left in the bank. He can't even make another gur if he wanted to get wood somewhere else. And yeah, it looks like he's moving towards the middle of the map now, but that's also where the military is from DeMu right now. Another keep is getting dropped here. This is the 8th, 9th, 10th keep so far in this game. These maps just have a little bit too much stone, I feel like.
Yeah, this is literally at that point in the game where you're like, all right, it's game over. We just have to wait it out until we see it. The caster, cheat, as you mentioned earlier. We see everything, and Leenock, he can't. Yes, you have a lot of food, but you can't make units with just food unless you're Molly and going scouts only.
Yeah, and I mean, Leenock is trying to get some raids in now in DeMu's food economy, but looking at the numbers, he has 10,000 food left in the bank, and these spears are all gonna get cleaned up now. More raids coming in from DeMu. I feel like he just needs one large army just composed out of knights in order to finally end it.
Yeah, I feel like this is the point where when DeMu gets Vils killed, it's actually a benefit for him with how many resources he has. That next wood line spotted out, so right as Leenock tries to secure the next wood line, it gets taken down, and this might just be the time when he clicks that surrender button. More Vils moving out. I'm sure this is going to be yet another keep potentially. If not, it's just going to be the end of the game here soon enough anyway.
Where is he getting all that stone from? Surely he can't just be buying it all. Another keep is going up, and man, oh man, wowee, that it's a lot. It's a lot. There is a lot of keeps.
Oh, it's the mass ram time. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Surely that is gonna get Leenock to surrender. I mean, at this point, I don't think Leenock is gonna surrender. I think this has to be a landmark victory. I wouldn't be surprised if at one point Leenock just decides to pack up one of his landmarks and just put it into the corner or try to hide it somewhere.
Yeah, maybe DeMu will get in trouble, have to go take care of the kid, and get pulled away from the computer at this, probably 3 a.m. for him and probably like 7 a.m. for Leenock over here. But they are grinding it, battling out through the night, and DeMu, he might have enough resources saved up for tomorrow.
There we go. Game gets called, and DeMu wins the set with a 2-1 in a really, really heated series that we had here today.
What a brawl that was there. But that first initial kind of graph showed it. DeMu was just able to stay at max pop the whole entire final 20 minutes of that game, whereas Leenock, he was fighting. He was trying to battle back, but not quite ever able to do it.
Yeah, that was incredible. Just a really, really strong set performed by both of these players here. And yeah, looking at the military count, we can see it just went back and forth all the time here. And wow, that would be that's just a really awesome set that we got to see here between these two players. Really, really good.
Yeah. Speaking of an